All right, so Saturday morning. What is the most fun we can do on a Saturday morning?
Rip apart a Corvette.
There we go. All right, so folks, this is that car. This is that New York car. And in the last week, a lot has happened, mostly a lot of planning. You can see we haven't really touched the car other than to free up the wheels so it would actually roll. But a very exciting thing on the car is, hang on, I'm going to show you. There's a lot of you people who will know exactly what that little oval hole is. That little oval hole is the thing that you look for on a 63 Corvette because, hi, good morning, Bobby Johnson. I love Alabama. I spent a lot of time at Enterprise, Alabama. I love that place. So what we've decided to do is, this car is currently a non-running, non-injected roadster. What is it going to be when we get done?
It's going to be a split window fuelie.
It's going to be a split window fuelie. So we're taking this car all the way, but we're doing it all with original parts, with exception of the roof itself. We're actually going to use a non-original roof, but other than that, everything's going to be done with original parts. And so I just sort of wanted to set the tone of what we're going to do, because at the end of the day, I'm going to show you what the car looks like. So go ahead and close that door for just a second, Heath. And we're going to close this. And so I'm going to point out that right now, this, hey, good morning, Stefan. So right now, you all see that this looks a whole lot like a 63 Corvette, right? It's got fenders on it. It's got a front end. Belgium, Natasha, what time is it in Belgium? It's got to be, oh no, I guess it's later. So I guess you guys are about midday. So hello from Brazil as well. So what you see right now is a car with, bogus seats, a transmission tunnel that's been completely shredded. You can see the interior doesn't look great. Hey, do me a favor, lift up this cover for a second, Heath. So Heath and I have worked out a drug deal on working on this car because he wants something out of the deal. But I mean, I want you guys to see just how bad this thing is. Do you have a flashlight? Yeah, you gotta see there is carpet glued to the bottom of this car, and we have absolutely no idea why. New Brunswick. Hey, how's it going, James? Actually, that is one of the few provinces I have not been to. So yeah, you can just sort of take a look here. This is probably at some point, a haven for little critters and things, because, I mean, this is what the car looks like today. You can see down in there, that used to be where the toolbox, or the jack and a few other of the tools were, including the lug wrench. Oh, empty beer bottle or a smashed beer bottle. That's always a good sign. Cool thing is there is actually a convertible top in here. Notice, hey, Heath, do me a favor. Go over there and roll the window up. Open that door. This is actually really cool. I've never seen this before in my life. Roll the window up. Ooh, easy, 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 easy. Okay, no, I want you to roll the window up.
What?
Where's the window crank?
I see no window crank.
There's a window in there, though.
Yeah?
Where's the window crank?
It looks like to be under this little button somewhere, or where it needs to be.
Do you believe that? They put the window crank underneath the door panel.
Wow.
So there was a window crank here at some point that used to actually go somewhere right about in there, but it's actually under this diamond tuck door panel. So we've got a little bit of work to do in bringing this thing back. I mean, right now, this vehicle, it would be hard to look at it and not say that it's ugly, even for me. I see the under beauty, but to look at it right now, it's hard not to sort of say, that is not a pretty car. But folks, stay with us, and at the end of the day, I will be back, and you are going to see this, a completely different vehicle. All right, so wait a second. James Danelle Lamont Calloway, I should come visit. James, where are you? Because if it's a great place, who knows? Maybe my wife and I will knock on your door and come visit. All right, so Hey, Bill, thanks for the kind words. All right, folks, so I'm going to sign off for now, but I will be back with you in a little bit as we tear into this car, because by the end of the day, I hope to have this car looking very, very different than it does today. Tibor, hey, thank you. I appreciate that. Best show on TV in the United Kingdom. That rocks. Hey, great comments. What do you think about being the best show in the United Kingdom on TV?
That's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. Guys, we love having you guys hang out with us, and we will be back shortly to show you just what's happening with this thing. All right, so for all of you, hey, Beatrick from the Netherlands, Eric, Gary, Aaron, you guys, I hope to see you guys soon, and stay tuned because you'll see this car being torn apart. All right, so, hey, Davey, take a break for a sec. All right, so, what kind of day has it been? Pretty full?
Oh, yeah.
All right, so, what do you think? Did we get anything done today on this car?
We did a weekend restoration.
Yeah, so not bad for a Saturday, right? Mm-hmm. All right, so folks, it's actually time for cleanup. So let me just sort of go over, there was some bad news on the car, unfortunately, today. There was some good news, and let me just sort of show you what we found as we went along. So here's what we have. This is that car that we were working on this morning, and if you remember seeing it this morning, it looked a whole lot different than this. Not only did it have quarters on it, and a rear skin and a rear valance, it had tail lights and bumpers, and you can see now. Well, wait, and here, what was glued into the ass end of this car?
Glued into the ass end.
What was glued into here that we had to remove?
Carpet.
Well, but under the carpet, what was there?
Like foam.
Yeah, there was multiple layers of foam up to about an inch thick, so we had to strip all that foam away. And here you can see sort of the last fragments of the foam. You can see we emptied out the inside pretty well. Obviously a lot of damage to the transmission tunnel. Ivan from the Corvette Club of Nova Scotia. So let me know if you guys take on projects like this. So what we discovered as we've gone along is that the most of the bonding strips are actually in really good shape on the ass end of the car. Would you mostly agree with that?
They all are.
Okay, so the bonding strips are in good shape. We discovered this car's had a few paint jobs. How many, David?
At least 3.
3? How many blue paint jobs did it have?
I mean, 4 then.
Okay, 5 paint jobs. Because the car started out white. You can see the white here. And then after it was white, you can see they painted it blue. Then they painted it blue again. Then they painted it red. Then they painted it red again. So by my count, this car has 5 paint jobs on it. And the panels that are left, we're going to strip all 5 of those paint jobs. And so when we get finished stripping, this is kind of the look we're looking for, which is the raw glass. And this black is just the remnants of that initial, basically
Like a red oxide primer.
yeah, it's the initial primer that goes on it. Minnesota, how's it going, Joey? So, Joey Vega, do you own one? They weren't great cars. Let me just sort of go over the bad news first. So, the first bit of bad news is that, let's see, a fair amount of damage. We discovered that the frame of the car has a problem. Only found one spot, but you can see right in, actually it's probably a little hard to see, but we've got some corrosion right there on the frame. So a little bit of frame corrosion and some frame damage. This control arm has been smacked fairly hard, and you can see the result was, look at this stack up of washers on the upper control arm versus this side, which hasn't been hit. So you can see this side is within 1/8 of an inch, this side is 1/2 inch off. So that means one of our first steps is going to be straightening the frame. Next bit of bad news is that the hood was irrecoverable. David, was there a hood underneath all that mess?
Just a skin.
Yeah, unfortunately somebody had taken the hood and they had split the top from the bottom. Hey, let me show you. And in doing so, the hood was destroyed. So here's the front clip, and David did successfully cut the hood out of it. Unfortunately, what he discovered was that all of the structure, all of the bottom of the hood was cut away. So believe it or not, the hood is actually, let me see if I can get it to focus. It's not liking to focus on the edge of the hood. This is the hood right here. This is extra layers of glass put on top of it, and unfortunately, we are missing third Corvette. All right, a 75 Roadster. I got to tell you, Stephen Bishop, I had that was my first. If you've ever seen the movie Walking Tall, they had that yellow Corvette convertible. It was a 75 that they balled up. I about cried when I saw that movie. So I did fall in love with a 75 Roadster. All right, so you can see all of these underpinnings, which we really hoped were intact, were unfortunately destroyed. Now that is a 64 hood. Hang on, I'm going to try something. Bring Melissa Martell on camera. Let me see what happens here. Now, Melissa, which is my wife, is now on camera with us. So bad news, you know, we had some frame bad news. We also discovered that the engine, or actually we knew the engine wasn't right, but the transmission bell housing is actually not correct either. The good news is the transmission is original to the car. So this is an aftermarket bell housing. You can see no bottom on it. That's Heidi. No, just lay down, girl. Just lay down. Howard Robinson from London. Hey guys, how's it going out there? And if any of you, if Pete, if you're on the line, or Paul, I've got a couple buddies over in England. Hello, and a shout out to the guys in London. Unfortunately, that is a basket case of a motor. That motor is actually probably out of something from the 80s, so it's just scrap metal at this point. So there were some bad news stories, you know, to find out that the frame had been a little bit more damaged than I had hoped, and to find out that a few pieces of glass were a little bit more damaged and the hood was not recoverable. All that was a bit of a heartbreaker, but we did get actually three pieces of good news. The first one is that most of the frame is actually really clean. And for those of you who are looking at it going, what the hell is wrong with you, Dan? It looks dirty. What I'm talking about is solid. The metal is actually very solid on almost the entire frame. Second bit of good news is that thing that I showed you guys earlier. This is a Fuelie, which is very cool. And the third thing, when we pulled the doors apart, we discovered that the reason there was a door panel over the window crank was that this is an original power window car, which is very cool. So if I take you over here and show you, let me sort of drag it out of the mire. This is the original set of power window switches that run all the way into the dash, all the way into the doors. These are the power window J-tubes that basically hold all the wires. And believe it or not, folks, we put power to it, we hit the switches, the windows work. They actually come up and down. So to find working power original windows on a 63 convertible, very, very cool. So, today, as you can see, we made a whole lot of progress. 24th Street in Norfolk. Okay, Sean Seltzer. So where are you? If we're here, we're on 24th Street in Norfolk. David from, oh, so obviously you're from St. Louis, where this thing was born. All right, so guys, we're gonna actually call this one done for the day. It's time to clean up, and these guys have been doing it while I've been here yammering. Right, Heath? Now wait a second, I did a little bit of work today.
What's up?
Okay, so this is Heath. Now, do you like doing these kind of projects?
Love it. This is the best part.
Yeah. Now, well, wait a second. Is the best part the deconstruction that you're doing now, or the reconstruction?
The reconstruction for sure.
Yeah, and so that actually starts in 2 weeks. The entire, or are you going to start it sooner than that?
Whatever you want. Next weekend, I thought.
Well, next weekend, yeah, I want to keep, so here's the next step. We want to take, and you can see this bonding strip. Huh?
Don't tug on that.
Don't tug on that.
Don't tug on that.
I'm not going to, don't tug on it. What's wrong with you? I'm not going to hurt it. I'm just showing the fact that some of these bonding strips have debonded, so we've got to do a little bit of repair work here. But the floors, the basic construction, everything that we need to be intact, and actually, that'll be a good project for next weekend, right?
Sure.
Let's get that transmission tunnel put back together. David, do you like doing this stuff?
Yeah.
David, do you ever smile?
No.
David never smiles, right? David, show me a smile. Well, that was.
That's all you get.
I don't have a military grade camera here. It isn't like a 1/10 of a 1,000th of a shutter speed. You gotta just give me one a little bit longer than that. Okay, so that's David's smile. So the construction is actually going, or the deconstruction so far is going fairly well. The next step is going to be to get basically this body ready to accept the new. Really, we're going to put an entire ass end on the car. We're going to put all the new glass starting from here, running to here, the entire tail section, the quarter panels, the split window, coupe sections, and then we're going to reconstruct the doors to take the coupe glass. So, David Christianity from Italy. Isn't it late in Italy at this point? I would think it's got to be what, like, because it's 5 here, so, or it's coming on 5, so it's got to be close to 11 in Italy. It's got to be time to either be drinking or calling it a night. All right, guys, so that's it. Thanks for joining us. So this is technically day 6 on the car, even though this is really only our first day of working on it. But it's been in the shop day 6, so I'm calling this day 6. And stay tuned. We'll be back with you next Saturday, where you're going to see David smile. Right, David? Okay, folks, thanks so much, and we will chat with you soon.